Hello, everyone, and welcome once again. It's that time again, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on a fine Sunday morning. I am JT, and this is Jerry Taylor presents the Master Plan. And it's only exclusive on YouTube. Hopefully, you are listening to me and enjoying the content as we go through today. Let me put it this way. I am going to go through my mock draft 3.0 fantasy football. That's what I do. And that's what's going to happen today. It's going to be dramatically different than the draft I presented on last month. And if you have a comment, put it in the comments. If you don't like it, it's going to change next month. I tell you that. I'm. This is probably one of the more difficult drafts of the last few years to put players in place from 1 to 12. That's what I'm going to do. 1 to 12. This is based on a PPR, points per reception type of league. And I'm playing around. I tell you the truth. I'm playing around. I'm moving people around, and hopefully you find it interesting. Maybe this clicks. Maybe it's going to be something that's going to be close to the next few months, or next month may be radically different. This is a work in progress, people. Work in progress. So I'm going through the steps leading up to a fantasy football draft that you may have in August and September. And then we'll go from there. We'll go from there. But if my esteemed co-host, Mr. FSP, Victor Garner, shows up, I'm sure that's going to be controversial. I'm sure that we're going to have disagreements. But it's like I said, it's a work in progress. It's not written in stone. And I did say this on the FSP show, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on a Saturday afternoon, that it's going to be different. There's going to be some surprises. And can I justify it? Some of them I may be able to justify. Some of them you may definitely disagree with. Like, how can you have this person so high up in the draft and either have him very low in the draft or not in the first round at all? It's a work in progress. Nothing's written in stone. As we get closer to the draft, I'll fine tune it, and you'll see in August, before most of the drafts are done, what I think of who should be number 1 through 12 in the first round, and who should stay out of the first round and be a second round pick. And quite naturally, there are situations within the last few weeks that have come to light that a said player may not be in the same situation and may have a different outlook on his fantasy relevance. That's a strong possibility, an extremely strong possibility. So I'm keeping that in mind when I go through this draft, and then we go from there. And I'm going to start at number 12. At number 12, I'm going to have let me do it this way. wish Mr. FSP has showed up, but that's okay. At number 12, I'm going to have a player that I had higher last month, but I'm thinking about it more. He's coming off an injury, and in my opinion, doesn't warrant uh, that high a pick. And I'm putting him at number 12. And some people say, well, how can the hell can he do that? I can do it. Very simply, I can do it. And bear with me, people. Jesus Christ. Come on. You know, I this is not fair. And what can I say? Okay, let me put it this way. We'll go this route first, and then we'll go this route. At number 12, I'm going to pick a guy that most people had at number 1 last year before he got hurt. And I'm going to put him in at number 12. And I don't know who will be playing quarterback in Indianapolis or coaching the Colts next season, but we know who's coaching the Colts next season. But I do know those men are not currently on. Hopefully, there will be significant improvements. And I mean, it really can't be any worse. Jonathan Taylor averaged 13.3 points per game as one of the biggest first overall pick busts in fantasy history. But he's just too talented, has too good of a role to drop any lower than this. Injuries and the collapse of this offense played a big role. We know his ceiling is overall RB1, so he's worth selecting at this point at number 12. That's right. I have Jonathan Taylor at number 12. Some people are going to disagree. I had him higher earlier, but a valid point was made about an ACL injury. Now, he's still in the first round, barely at number 12. That's where I have him. Let me bring in Mr. FSP. And as late as he is, let me bring him in.
As late as I am? Okay, all right.
All right, my man. I have Jonathan Taylor sitting at number 12.
I can agree with that.
Oh, so far we're getting off on a good foot.
Well, no, because then you can't. I came in and you insulted me, as you would say yesterday.
Okay,
but I see we both wearing black. So
let me ask you this question then. Okay, I have him at number 12. You agree?
Yeah.
Why do you agree?
Again, the uncertainty of who the quarterback is, and what the head coach said. They're going to throw to score, run to win. That tells me that running is just going to be used to close out games. Now, Jonathan Taylor can catch the ball out the backfield, but he's a pounder in between the tackles. And we went over the additions in Indianapolis, but I just don't see right now where he's going to be the focal point of the offense.
Okay.
Coming off the ACL, yes, that is your statement, and you backtracked off of it, but then you just said you agreed with some good advice that I gave you. So You know,
I didn't say where it came from. I just said
I know, but I know it's from me. I know it's from me though.
oh
But
God, you're so narcissistic. Oh my
but
God.
but see, I wasn't trying to insult you, but you look at you calling me narcissistic. But all I'm saying is that Taylor, um, he goes from the top of the list last year to the bottom of the first round. Uh,
Yes.
and that's the thing. The uncertainty of whose quarterback is and how that offense is going to be generated is difficult for me to comprehend. Now, if they do what he did in Philly, Jonathan Taylor should have plenty of opportunities. But again, that says you're going to have a mobile quarterback. And if that's the case, the best mobile quarterback in this draft is your guy, Richardson. And I don't know if the Colts are going to be able to jump up and get him because this kid made a ton of money after the combine. So
Well, aren't the Colts the third pick?
I think so, but who's to say that Frank Reich and company don't want to get him because that's the stature of quarterback Frank Reich likes. Stroud and
Okay.
Richardson are the type of quarterbacks as far as stature wise that Frank Reich likes. So if he gets Stroud, then Richardson definitely is either either gonna go to the Colts or the Texans.
Okay. All right. So let's move. And I know you're not going to agree with this, but that's okay.
It's
That's
got to
fine.
be it's got to be Tyreek Hill.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no, no, no.
okay.
Let me put it this way.
Oh,
At the
it's Travis
beginning,
Kelsey.
no. Let me put it this way. At the beginning of this show, I said this is going to be dramatically different, and it's going to be a lot of big surprises. I also said that yesterday on your show, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, the FSP show. This
Yes.
is going to be highly controversial, and I know you're going to have some upset moments, but that's okay. I expected it this way because the fact is, and I said this earlier, and keep this in mind, it's a work in progress.
So what I want
It's
you to remember, what I want you to remember is when I criticize it and I go off on it, I don't want you getting all upset because you just said it
it's a
yourself.
work it's a work in progress. Understand? You have to
Yes.
understand that. So you can't
You
take
are
it.
a work in progress. You are right. You are.
Well, everyone on this earth is a work in progress. That includes you, my friend. Everyone
Oh, I know.
on this
I know.
earth is a work in
I
progress. Okay.
know. I know.
So this guy
I'm just like,
requested trade. This guy requested a
what? Are
trade.
you kidding me? Okay, now you
Let me
know I'm
finish.
be mad.
This,
Now you
let
know I'm
me let
mad.
me finish. Let me let me
Ooh.
finish.
Go
This
ahead.
guy
Go ahead.
on his team because the team I talked about this yesterday. His team happens to be one of the most frugal teams in the NFL, and obviously, if he requests a trade, uh, doesn't want to be part of the team. He and I expect this guy if he gets traded, and even if he doesn't get traded, it's going to regress from 20 points per game in 2022. That's what he averaged in 2022. So I'm expecting him to regress in 2022 with a new coaching offense, with a new offense, not a new coach, new head coach, but a new offense. Same quarterback, same pieces in the offense, but if he gets traded, he will regress dramatically. Dramatically. I know that Mr. FSP doesn't think Austin Eckler deserves to be number 11, but I do.
Okay.
You got anything to say? Okay.
Oh yeah, I got plenty to say, but I'm
I know.
not going to say it all right now. What I'm
Okay.
going to say is some of your facts aren't accurate, therefore they're not facts, because there probably will not be the same pieces. As stated yesterday, Keenan Allen might not be on the team. Cap casualty. Gerald Everett might not be on the team. Matter of fact, they're looking to get Dalton Schultz in LA since he's a free agent
Okay.
to
Okay.
replace him. But if
Okay.
Austin Eckler is traded, I think he becomes more valuable because he's demonstrated that he can catch the ball out of the backfield as well as be an in between the tackles runner and stay healthy over the past couple years. I think if he's traded, he becomes a focal point of an offense. Very much like what happened with your boy, McCaffrey. He was a focal point in North Carolina or in Carolina, but it got ratcheted up quite a bit in San Francisco. That's the same thing I could see happening with Austin Eckler if he's traded. So, with that being
Okay.
said, Austin Eckler is definitely a top 5 player, not a bottom 11 like some people got him. But I'm not going to disparage those people because, like you said, everyone's a work in progress, and some of us need more Jesus than others.
He let me put it this way. He's on the downside of years of running back at 28 years old in next season. So I'm just saying, understand what I'm saying. I believe Austin Eckler is a first round pick, not a high first round pick where I have him approximately at the 11th spot. And let me also say this, and warn, I wouldn't warn, but I'll forewarn people in my mock draft. 7 out of the 12 people in the first round, players, are wide receivers. Seven
What?
out of the first 7 players in the first round are wide receivers. And
You know
my
what? I
number
might as well
10,
just hang up right now. I might as well hang up
well,
right now.
you can hang up. You can hang up. You can hang up if you like. But I told you yesterday, and I said earlier before you came on the show, that this is going to be a big surprise. This is going to be out of the norm. And I also
I
said
want to
earlier,
share this. I want to share this on my page, but you didn't give me the option to do so. So, because
I didn't.
people need to hear this. People need to hear this.
Well,
Well,
I didn't see
yeah,
that.
you have to do that option when you create the show. Hello,
Excuse me.
JT.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, because
Unbelievable.
your screen
Yeah, I'm here.
froze. Your screen froze, and I didn't hear you. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but your screen
Yeah.
is frozen.
I don't know. I
Are
don't
you
know.
having more technical
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
difficulties?
Well, I don't know what's going on. I haven't done anything. Uh, I know my internet's supposedly good. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, what were you saying?
No,
Repeat it.
I was just saying, I want people to see this. So I'm putting on my feed that you're going live right now. Because I need them to hear this mess.
Okay, no problem. No, if it's mess, it's you know you're critical of it, but that's fine. That's fine. I mean, like I said, it's a work in progress. It's a mock. It's nothing serious. It's just an idea. The third idea in this year that I've had of a mock draft, and I'm playing around. It's a work in progress. I keep
Yeah, that's
saying
what I
that,
just
and
posted.
you're not.
I just posted. It's a work
It's
in
a work in
progress.
progress. So
It's a mess, but it's a work
last
in
week may
progress.
be last week last week may have been half and half. This week I'm leaning more to wide receivers. People, I'm telling you. And I also said this earlier, and you may not, or you may agree. This is probably one of the most difficult um, years for picking players within the first round because there's so much talent. There's so much talent wide receiver and running back, and there's a lot of variables on who's going to go where, who's going to stay, and how team situations are. That it's difficult to stick to one solid philosophy, which I've always had in running backs, majority of the first round. That I'm going in the opposite direction with the wide receivers. I said there's 7 wide receivers in this first round draft, 12 teams, first round draft. And my number 10, was the number 1 fantasy player
Are you kidding me?
2 seasons,
Oh,
2 seasons ago.
Number 10
ago.
though? Jeez.
Number 10. And that's Cooper Kupp. We don't know what type of player Cooper Kupp is going to be coming back from an ACL. Don't know. I have him down below. A lot of people are going to chase the numbers of 2 seasons ago. I can't do that. I'll put him in the first round, but I'm putting him number 10. At number 10, Mr. Cooper Kupp, wide receiver for the LA Rams. Is it going to be Matthew Stafford or is it going to be someone else? I'm just saying, a lot less weapons, a lot less options, a lot less talent that the Rams have.
Well, okay. So JT's having some technical difficulties, so you get to see me or hear me. Look at that beautiful picture of that nice young man. Looking as only I can look as I prepare to take my wife to go see Bruno Mars in Las Vegas. Or not Bruno Mars, I apologize. Soul Sonic, which is Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars. But I will tell you this. Cooper Kupp at number 10 is a disgrace. Jerry says we don't know what Cooper Kupp we're going to get. Well, I'm telling you, Cooper Kupp came back off of a similar injury a couple years ago. The first year the Rams went to the Super Bowl and didn't win. Cooper Kupp came back and just had his best statistical year, or the best statistical year of a wide receiver in NFL history. So what I'm saying is you can expect Cooper Kupp to be in a mindset of it's time to get back. This means Van Jefferson needs to step up a little bit. Tutu Atwell, who was a rookie last year, needs to step up a little bit. But I expect Cooper Kupp to be a dog again with Matthew Stafford. I really do. And the Cowboys, just breaking news, the Cowboys just acquired Brandon Cooks in a trade with the Texans. So that is big for Brandon Cooks and the Cowboys. Is he a number 1? I don't know. But him, CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, and whoever else they have, that's a problem. That is a problem, in my opinion. But Cook ain't in the top 10 of fantasy football this year coming up. I don't expect him to be. I do not have a list of JT's first round, but I would imagine his number 9, since 7 of the top 10 are receivers, I would have to think is going to be like Saquon or somewhere in that area because of the production that Saquon had last year and looks to have this year. But I don't know. I'm going to try to keep talking until he comes back. Maybe he didn't pay his internet bill. I really don't know. I can't end his show because it's live and it's only on his end. But what I will do is continue to speak about what I would put in the top 10. As I said, I'm thinking Saquon is his number 8, mainly because Saquon is versatile, very versatile, or versatile, however you want to pronounce it. He has the ability to catch the ball out the backfield, run the ball between the tackles, pass block. He doesn't, well, I'm not going to say he doesn't come off the field because they do spell him from time to time, but that's also because they use him a lot. They use him a whole lot. And fantasy-wise, that's a very good thing to be used as much as he is. With that being said, I'm hoping that Brian Daboll does not run Daniel Jones as much because that's going to hurt Daniel Jones. His body type is not built to be a power, quarterback power runner. You can call it power, you can call it counter, you can call it whatever you want, but his body type is not designed to do that. Does that hurt Saquon if he stops running? Yes, it does. Prime example I will give you would be Alfred Morris and RG3 back in Washington's time. Speaking of which, there's the rumor that the team has been sold. Not true as of yet, but it's a big rumor. Anyway, Alfred Morris became a very vital part of the Washington, at the time, Redskins, because of the threat of RG running. Lanes were opening for him. He ended up having a longer than probably should have career because he could read the holes, he could block, and he could run. Well, Saquon's way better than Alfred Morris, in my opinion, and therefore his ability to remain a vital threat if Jones runs is outstanding. But again, I got to think about the safety of that quarterback. He's the future, apparently, because he just got $40 million a year. Saquon got franchise tag with just 10. So we don't know. Again, I would have Saquon Barkley, number 9 at this point, and JT is trying to come back on, it looks like, but I don't know if it is. Yeah, there he is. He's having technical difficulties. But
Can you hear me?
oh, I can hear you. We can see you.
All right. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, my computer froze up on me, just like it's doing now. It's acting
Oh,
crazy. I don't know what's going
well,
on.
I stayed at number 9. I think you have Saquon at number 9. I don't
Hey,
know if you have him at number 9.
that's correct. That's correct.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I am surprised. I have Saquon Barkley at number 9. He got franchise tagged, not the he got the not the exclusive. He got the non-exclusive franchise tag, so any team can come up. But Saquon's I wouldn't say he's damaged goods, but he has had injury issues. So there's no team that's going to make it a tender offer for Saquon, having to give up 2 first-round picks in order to acquire him. So he's going to be staying with the New York Giants for the most part, and it's going to warrant at the number 9 pick. Let me put it that way. He's going to warrant being number 9. And I think I froze up again. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Just keep talking.
Yeah, I'll keep talking. Anyway, that's who I have at number 9. At number 8, I know you. I know my man is going to be upset with this. He gives wide receiver numbers. He's with a prolific quarterback. He has he's right now he's a Hall of Famer and probably the all-time best tight end in the NFL. Right now, I have Mr. Travis Kelsey, number 87 in your Kansas City program, as as the number 8 pick in the first round. Talk to me, Mr. FSP.
You know I disagree. You know I disagree. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, the problem with getting a tight end, even though it's Travis Kelce, in the first round, is you get problems. But since I don't want to talk about that jabroni, I'm just joking. Travis Kelce isn't a jabroni. Let's talk about Brandon Cooks getting traded to the Dallas Cowboys, because I think you missed that while you were gone. That came across the wire that he just got traded to the Dallas Cowboys.
Who's that?
Brandon Cooks.
Oh, really? Okay.
For 2 second-round picks. 2 second-round picks this year and next year.
Okay.
Since you want to talk about receivers, I don't want to talk about Travis Kelce.
Man,
the problem with Travis Kelce, again, the problem with Travis Kelce being in your first round is you're shorting yourself on running backs, top running backs, and top wide receivers.
Okay.
That's the problem. And his numbers are his numbers, but we're talking fantasy. If we're talking fantasy, Travis Kelce is a good receiving tight end, but you need your stellar running backs or stellar receiver first before you get your tight end. Now, granted, there's only like 4 or 5 top tight ends, and getting him first is a good thing, but then you also lose out on getting a solid running back.
Okay.
So
you there?
I'm here. I'm just saying, you know,
my computer's acting all really crazy. Really crazy.
Well, it's following its leader's lead. But I can still see your face. It's frozen, but I can still hear you. So if you just keep talking, we can make it through, unless you just want to end the show.
No, I'm not going to end it. I got 25 minutes, and I can get through this. My number 7 is an outstanding player. He's with a second team. He lost.
So hold on. So 6 of these last 7 are receivers, based upon what you said.
Back. He plays in the AFC West, and he's one of the best wide receivers. Say again?
Dude, you must have a huge delay. I said the 6 of these last 7 must be receivers, because you said 7 of your top 10 are receivers, and we've already had a running back and a tight end.
Yeah.
So this is ridiculous. Then it's just ridiculous.
No problem. Like I said, it's a work in progress, and because of the changing tide and amount of talent, going in a different direction in this mock draft, which is radically different than what I've normally been doing. Radically different. So I have Devontae Adams, wide receiver from the Las Vegas Raiders, at number 7. Your thoughts?
I have him higher, but it's him, Kupp, and maybe 2 other receivers that I say are worthy of top 10. I mean, top first round, but not 7 and jokers.
Okay. So you say Brandon Cooks is going to the Cowboys? I think that only helps my next player, who happens to play for the Cowboys.
You got Mr. Snotty Nose in the top? Oh my God.
So who I have at number 6, 88, famous 88 on the Dallas Cowboys, but I have him at number 6 in my fantasy football draft. CeeDee Lamb, prolific wide receiver, and I think he only gets better with the help of a good option, and a more healthy Michael Gallup, and a
I take it.
I'm thinking CeeDee Lamb at number 6 in my fantasy football mock draft.
All right, we can go there. You're a little in and out, but CeeDee Lamb is not a top 12 player. Now, if you were to just say receiver, I can do that. Brandon Cook does bring a little something to it. The question or the problem I have with that is Brandon Cook a number one, because we found out last year CD isn't. With Zeke gone and Tony Pollard being the featured back, Dalton Schultz may return or may not return. That's a lot of pressure. I don't think CD Lamb belongs in the top 12 at all.
Okay.
He's taking a spot of a running back that needs to be there. But again, this is your list.
At number 5, he's another wide receiver. I think he was last season, not this past season, but the season before. He was the number 1 wide receiver. I think he had the most targets and most catches, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but he hails out of the upstate New York. I got Stephon Diggs at number 5.
Diggs at number 5, too high for me. I have him at the tail end of the draft. We have of the first round, because I got to see who comes to be with him in Buffalo. I think it's going to be another repeat of a low year. He had a high year, then a low year, then a high year. I think it's going to be a low year again, unless another receiver comes. Maybe Adam Thielen comes and joins him in Buffalo. But if not, I don't think he's going to have that good of a year. It's going to be a low year.
Okay. Last season, I said this team, and I was mistaken. I admit my mistake, that this team was going to regress. Simply because I thought the quarterback was going to regress, and the wide receiver. I know he didn't play all 17 games, but I've said this before. You don't play all 17 games, and you don't put the same numbers up you put previously in the year before previous. You've regressed. But I think this season he warrants to be the number 4 pick in the first round. I got Jamar Chase at number 4.
I don't have a problem with that. Other than there should be a running back there.
Okay, no problem. As you can see, I got 2 wide receivers in the next two spots and 1 running back. Okay, at number 3, and I know you've had a thing about this guy being in the top 12. I know you've never, ever since I put this guy in the top 12, you've always been resistant on it, which is fine.
But you're going to put him at number 3, so you know I'm going to come out harder. But okay.
Yes, that's right. Okay. It ain't about you. It's just about where I see this guy. And he had, 1,400 yards last year? He had 1,400 yards with a quarterback that was in and out of the lineup. 1,400 yards. And he was he wasn't the other. He was the main wide receiver, but the other wide receiver also had, if I'm not mistaken, over 1,000 yards, maybe 1,400 yards. So it was 2 wide receivers in this offense that was run by Mike McDaniels that had over 1,000 yards and were prolific wide receivers at their position in fantasy. I got Tyreek Hill at number 3.
I thought your mic messed up again, and you said Tyreek Hill at number 3. That's what I heard. I heard some garbage, some googly goo. I get Hill. So I want to make sure that I heard you correctly when you said Christian McCaffrey or Derrick Henry or Devontae Adams. Not Devontae Adams, or Dalvin Cook or something like that. Make sure I heard the right name.
You heard the right name, Tyreek Hill at number 3.
Oh, so I heard Dalvin Cook. Okay, all right. I'll move on.
Okay, no problem. All right, at number 2, and I still say that this guy's too high for that, but I'm gonna put him there. As for most people, he's number 1, but I think I had him at number 1 last month. I can see him progressively dropping. Right now, this month I have him at number 2. He's my favorite running back, but I got red flags all over the place, in my opinion, this year. And even though I do have red flags, he's got a lot of talent on a running back friendly offense with a play caller that's running back friendly. I have CMC, Christian McCaffrey, at number 2.
Should be number one, but I'm not gonna parse anything. But I'm okay with the person you're gonna have at number one. Number one. That's why I'm not mad. Uh, but continue.
Okay. At number 1, by a lot of people, the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL and in fantasy, a very good player that is in the peak of his career right now, or we don't know if it's
Offensive Player of the Year.
he,
I mean,
at the peak of his career. I have to give at the number 1 position Justin Jefferson, the number 1 pick in my fantasy football mock draft 3.0. Talk to me, Mr. FSP.
I agree with it. I think, especially if if the Vikings can find a suitable replacement for Adam Thielen, because TJ Hawkinson is legit. Cook is legit. Cousins, he all right. But I think he can repeat the numbers. Honestly, I think it's going to be a battle between these 3 people for the number 1 fantasy player: Jefferson, CMC, and Cooper Kupp. Honestly, believe that. And watch, I get 2 of the 3.
Well, let me put it this way: Cooper Cup his time has passed. I hate to tell you.
It's not.
I hate to tell you, his time has passed.
I enjoy telling you it's not.
Okay. Okay. You don't see the warning. You don't see the signs that his time has passed. But that's okay. I understand. No problem.
I mean,
But that I mean, Brandon Cooks to the Cowboys. Wow.
yes, I told you that earlier, and I informed the
Yeah,
audience when it happened.
yeah, I understand. I had to think about that for a minute again, because I'm done with my draft. I went through Jefferson, CMC, Hill, Chase, Diggs, Lamb, Adams, Kelsey, Barkley, Cup, Ackler, and Taylor.
Eckler.
Eckler, whatever.
Eckler.
Eckler, whatever. He's still down on my down on the my hit list.
Which is
Notice,
such a terrible thing.
notice a particular person is not in the top 12.
I mean, you got several particular persons not in the top 12. Which one am I not supposed? Which one am I supposed to notice that you did not provide?
Number 22 in the Titans program, Derrick Henry.
Well, because I don't know where he's going to go.
What do you mean you don't know where he's going to go? You don't know where Eckler is going to go, but I have him in the top 12.
Well, the thing is, Eckler's a little younger and is more versatile. The person or the team that picks up or trades for Henry, which I would think Arthur Smith would find a way to jump all over this. I mean, Algier is good and young, but
that's the key.
I know young, but
good,
I
young,
would
and cheap.
Yes, I would get Henry and draft a running back that I can have for a rookie contract for 4 to 5 years. So if I get him in the first round, which I don't think they're going to do, I got him for 5 years cheap before I even got to think about franchising him. I know Algier is on a rookie contract, but I think he got drafted in the 3rd round. So he only has like 2 or 3 years before they have to either franchise him or something like that. So I trade him away to Tennessee along with a 2nd round, 3rd round pick to get Derrick Henry, who I know knows my system, who I know can still be effective. And look at here, he'll be playing in a system that has a bona fide stud at tight end again, a bona fide stud at wide receiver. Yes, he'll have a rookie quarterback, but he also have Taylor Heineke just in case, who I believe uh, can make a difference. I think that's a better situation for Derrick Henry if he goes to Atlanta. Um, so
I'm not a fan of a 30-year-old running back with a
no,
lot
I get it.
with a lot of tread on the tire.
I got it. But that's what I'm saying. That's why he goes somewhere that's familiar with him and to him with Arthur Smith. And if he does that, or if Tennessee does that, there's a way that he can have a decent end to his career. Because let's say he probably has 2 years left, 2 productive years left. And, Atlanta gets to groom whoever his replacement's going to be. And they can still be a topic of conversation. They spent a ton of money. It's not like they don't have it to give. So, just my thoughts.
So, so you're such in love with this player, I'm going to ask you where you think he may land since he requested a trade. You're Austin Eckler.
Well, I'll put it this way. He was seen in D.C. Last week, a couple days. Now, I don't know if he got family in D.C. I don't know if he was just visiting the monuments and the museums. But if you're in D.C. for a few days, shortly after requesting a trade publicly, I don't know. I really don't know. Washington could give up Antonio Gibson, who's a very much like Austin Eckler type player, and maybe a draft pick or two because he's not franchised. So it wouldn't cost him that much. But then I would also think about the development of Robinson, our power back. He probably wouldn't get the development he needs uh, because Eckler would be in the system. So, and the fact that Ron Rivera likes the smallish power running guys, he drafted Christian McCaffrey. So, I can see it happening.
Well, there's a big difference between Christian McCaffrey and Austin Eckler.
Yeah, one was the 20-point a game fantasy player and, considered top 3 all season, not just part of the season. And the other got traded, had a good season once he got traded.
So, okay. You want to downplay what CMC did, but that's fine.
No, I'm not going to downplay it. I'm just saying.
You just did, but that's okay.
All I'm saying is he wasn't doing so hot while he was still in Carolina. But when he got to San Francisco, it turned up, and that's a product of the system, I truly believe. But he also has great talent. So.
Okay. So, I want to talk about this because I don't watch it, but I've noticed that there's been a lot of high-end upsets.
Yeah.
In March Madness.
Oh yeah.
Arizona getting ousted by Princeton.
Yep.
Arkansas beating Kansas.
Yep.
FDU beating I forget who they beat.
Purdue. A number 1 seed.
And let me put it this way. You know that Jay Billis, you know who Jay Billis is?
Yes.
He was on Get Up on ESPN. The morning before that game took place, and predicted FDU would beat Purdue. He predicted FDU would beat Purdue, and quite nasty Rob Yanovich, who is I think that's who it was. who was you used to play for the Patriots and came from Purdue, was highly
Ninkovich.
Ninkovich. I'm sorry.
Ninkovich.
Yes, highly objected to that. But I mean, talking about calling it, if somebody went with Jay Billis and put some money on FDU, they cleaned up. Let me put it that way.
Well,
They cleaned
FDU's
up.
going to get smoked today by Florida Atlantic.
Okay.
Florida Atlantic's going to whoop them. Now, I know you don't watch it, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Purdue was the number 1 seed in the East.
Okay.
And it's the second time in tournament history that a number 1 was defeated by a number 16. Second time ever in
Yeah,
history.
I understand that. I know how much of that the outlier. Go ahead.
So I believe that was the wrong seeding, that Texas should have been that number 1 seed, but they put them in the same bracket as Houston. So those guys will see each other in the Elite 8 if everything keeps going the way I believe it will. But the games of interest happen to be these lowest. Princeton, literally, they made it to the Sweet 16. They have a legit shot of going to the Elite 8. A legit shot. They're number 15 seed with a legit shot from an Ivy League that plays like a Power 5. I mean, they still do the back cut screen and all that other stuff, but them boys were shooting and rebounding. And they were going against 2 very good teams. They knocked out a number 2 in their first game. Arizona. And Arizona was picked by a great deal of people to win it all. So I want y'all to understand that Princeton, they're not here for the fun and games. And then they just mollywop a SEC school in Missouri. Bro, Princeton got a real shot at making it to the Elite 8, possibly even the Final 4.
Okay.
But right now, if things trend the way that I believe they're going to trend, I've got Alabama and Houston in the finals. Now that Kansas has been eliminated by Arkansas, and I think Arkansas shouldn't have won that game, but they did. They played tough the entire game, but there were a couple calls toward the end. I was like, man, that's ticky tack, and you got that wrong. But it is what it is. So Kansas is out. Duke. Now here's the thing: Tennessee should not be where they are. Tennessee lost their 2 starting point guards, and they're beating teams by playing physical, a zone, and like I think their starting lineup is averaging 6'3", 6'4" at guard now, because those were their like small forwards / shooting guards that are now up front. So they're
Your bracket's
playing.
all screwed up now, right? You're
Yeah, bro. Well, not really. Not really. In the East, it's trash. But I've got Alabama and Houston going all the way to the championship. But a couple of teams I had them playing to get there are now eliminated. So it's kind of screwed. And I know you wouldn't play it, so I didn't even offer you an opportunity to get in. But it's pretty good. I know you following women's basketball right now. And you froze again with your mouth wide open. All right, JT. More technical difficulties. I don't know if he's going to be. Well, yep, JT ended. JT's out. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if he's going to be able to end this show or if it's going to continue to stream. I'll give it a couple of minutes, and then I will leave the program, and the show might end, not sure. But again, you see that nice looking young man there in that black shirt holding that Silk Sonic ticket and that camera, looking only as I could look. Just understand that I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Who's the man? I'm the man. But besides that, ladies and gentlemen, uh, March Madness is in full effect, literally in full effect, as these games are exciting. They continue today. Uh, I will tell you, if you want to watch something exciting and something that's going to give you a lot of adrenaline boost, if you are pumping those shows, then I mean not shows, but pumping those games, you'll enjoy it. It looks like JT is off, so hopefully the show ends when I leave. I'm going to tell him to check it out. If not, and you're watching and you're one of JT's friends, please let him know so he doesn't stream something he shouldn't stream. Trust me, I know what he watches on TV. All right, you guys enjoy your day, and I guess next week, 10 a.m. Eastern, the master plan. I have no idea what JT's going to talk about. He normally tells us Saturday, but we shall see. But for JT, it's me, Mr. FSP. You've been watching Jerry Taylor Presents the Master Plan here on YouTube. Bye-bye.